Hey Snacker Stars, Brandon from the sAs, the Snack Food Appreciation Society, coming at you with another Frozen Friday edition of Pizza Night. Tonight, I return to the freezer aisle to find something I've been looking for at least a couple of months. Have I found it? Well, duh, obviously. What is it? Find out right after this on Pizza Night. Never fear, Pizza Night is here. So grab yourself a can of beer for Friday night, October the 9th, 2015. Least wanted. Why? Just coughed up a hairball the size of a Honda. Insisted it was a cat's version of a carbon footprint. I don't even know what that means, guys. But I do know that tonight I'm going without the Brandon Sack 5000 because I don't want this pizza to melt, basically. I got the brand new, or maybe not so brand new, limited edition Diablo pizza by Tombstone. You may remember a few months back I reviewed the Tombstone limited edition bratwurst pizza. Well, this one came out around the same time, except I never ran into it anywhere. Finally, this week, I ran into this pizza at the Safeway for 2 for $7. That's right, $3.50. And what this limited edition Diablo pizza gives you is spicy chorizo, jalapenos, sweet red peppers with real Wisconsin mozzarella cheese and fiery sriracha tomato sauce. You can see all the toppings laid about there on this Tombstone pizza. Lots of reds and greens. If you don't know what chorizo is, it's a Latin type of sausage. That's about all I can tell you. They've got it all throughout various Latin countries. There is Spanish chorizo. There is, Mexican chorizo. There is even El Salvadoran chorizo, but I don't know the differences between those, and I don't know what kind is on here, except for it promises to be spicy. Let's take a look at what this baby looks like out of the package. Alright, the plastic has been removed, and let's go ahead and take off this cover and reveal the Diablo pizza in its uncooked state. Ta-da! And then just like on the cover, you've got lots of colors on here. You got lots of reds and lots of greens with those sweet red peppers and those jalapeno peppers. And there does appear to be quite a bit of chorizo spread throughout, although there's a lot of empty real estate going on up here. So I'm going to have to spread this stuff around a little bit. And I might remove a couple of those peppers here and there, the red ones anyway. Anyway, I'll be right back after I put this thing in the oven. By the way, they want us to put it in at 400 degrees for 17 to 19 minutes. You know how that goes in my oven. More like 350 to 375 for about 10 minutes plus. We'll find out how it turns out and more right after this on Pizza Night. Alright, gang, I am back. Take a look at that fresh Tombstone pizza right out of the oven. The brand new, or not so new, limited edition Diablo pizza, which came out right around the same time as that bratwurst pizza over there. And I just now got my hands on it. Anyway, taking a look here at it, you see I was not able to actually move a lot of the toppings around before I put it into the oven because they were straight up frozen to the cheese. And they were breaking apart as I was trying to move them around, so that just didn't happen. So we're going to have to play a little bit and, use our imagination in some cases. Getting a little bit closer now, you'll see that the cheese definitely melted really, really well. By the way, it took exactly 10 minutes, just like I thought, at 375 degrees in my Psycho oven. Let me go ahead and show you how it developed underneath. As you can see, it's getting quite dark as you get to the edge. And yeah, it got pretty dark underneath there too. It's going to be a little more crispy than I'm comfortable with. But what can you do, right? Alright guys, let me take a slice out of this so I can show you the 420 and more. Alright guys, there you go. I've cut it up into, looks like about 8 equal slices there. Or as equal as I can get them anyway. Let's take out this 420. Actually, it's more like a 520 at this point, but who cares? As you can see, there is no flop or pliability to this crust whatsoever, but there's lots of toppings on the piece that I picked, because, yeah, I spun the pizza around to make sure that that happened. Taking another look underneath. Yeah, nice and brown, but not burnt by any stretch of the imagination. About to lose one of those red peppers there. Sausages, or chorizos, if you will, look nice and juicy. And you see that sriracha tomato sauce peeking out from underneath there as well. It smells very interesting. I smell lots of peppers, though. That's mainly what I smell at this point. And maybe it's going to be mainly what I taste as well, but we'll find out on Pizza Night right after this when I take a bite. Alright guys, I am back. This pizza smells pretty interesting, very peppery. I'm guessing that's how it's going to taste as well. It's got a lot of peppers going on with the jalapenos, the red peppers, and of course sriracha's got peppers in it too. So yeah, very peppery on this Diablo pizza. Let me go ahead and pick up the same slice I went with before. And as you can see, again, no pliability whatsoever. Very cardboardish in terms of the consistency of the crust, and that's just something that you gotta live with the low dollar frozen pizza. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Alright guys, let me go ahead and take a bite of this Tombstone Diablo. Alright guys, that's really zesty so far. Let's take one more bite and get a real firm conclusion on the rating for this pizza. Woo! Okay, yeah, the heat really kicked in there on that second bite, man. And I'm still feeling it. Really spicy, particularly when you get a big mouthful of those jalapeno peppers, man. And that sriracha tomato sauce is a sleeper too, man. Don't take too much of that at one time. You might be a little bit surprised. You know, I have extra hot habanero sauce. You know, I like hot sauces, but this is a little bit hotter than I was expecting for a fairly, you know, not mundane, but, you know, typical product that you find in your freezer aisle, that is. Frozen food aisle is what I was trying to say. Now let me go ahead and break this down for you. Of course, the low point of this product is the crust. It's very crackery, very cardboardish, but the flavor is okay. I just don't dig thin crust. I don't dig crispy crust. I don't dig thin and crispy crust, okay? So that's a wash. Then you get to the tomato sauce, which has sriracha in it. And at first I was like, well, where is that sriracha? But then the flavor started to creep in, and I'm like, yeah, there's a little bit in there. And there's a little bit of that zing, too. Then you get to the cheese, and the cheese actually on this pizza is surprising. I don't remember if the old Bratwurst Pizza's cheese was quite as good as this one. I'll have to go back and look at it. I mean, I'm sure it's the same cheese. The Wisconsin mozzarella is what they're calling it, I do believe. Yes, it is. Real Wisconsin, not fake Wisconsin, but real Wisconsin. And, you know, it's got a really good melt to it, which is what I'm very impressed by, because even the higher dollar frozen pizzas, sometimes the cheese doesn't melt quite right. So they got that right. And it tastes pretty good, too. It's a nice, light, cheesy mozzarella. Also, you got to get to the chorizo at this point. The chorizo is very good. It's a nice spicy sausage. It's not the spiciest thing on this pizza by any stretch of the imagination, but nice sausage flavor. I love the Latin sausage because it doesn't have that fennel taste that American pizza sausage tends to have. So I'm in favor of that. It tastes very similar to the chorizo that you get at Qdoba, or however you say it, for breakfast with their breakfast burritos. Very good there. Then you get to the red peppers. The red peppers are not as distracting as I thought they would be. They add a little sweet crunchiness to the top, and actually a little more extra lubrication as well, because they're very juicy. Then you get to the jalapenos, and the jalapenos are really where you get to the zing and the zap and the zowie of this pizza. Get a big mouthful of those and you're going to feel it, man. Otherwise, it's not that spicy. But when you get to those jalapenos and it mixes with that sriracha sauce, yeah, that's a pretty spicy experience, man. And altogether, for $3.50, this isn't a bad deal. I'm going to go ahead And because the crust is a fairly, substantial part of the pizza, and I'm not too high on that, it's going to knock it down a little bit. But if this had a more fluffy, doughy, soft crust to it, I'd be giving this a perfect thumbs up right about now, 100%. But instead, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 3/4 thumbs up here tonight on Pizza Night for the Tombstone limited edition Diablo frozen pizza. Of course, Tombstone, one of the first major name brand frozen pizzas, back in the 80s. But when you had your Ginos and your Totinos and your Tonys back then, and they were all blah. Then all of a sudden Tombstone came along and knocked them off their block. But then DiGiorno came along, some of these other higher dollar ones, Freschetta came along, and now you've even got things like the Screamin' Sicilian, the Home Run, and there's another one called like Wild Mike's or something like that. I want to try that out pretty soon too on upcoming Frozen Friday edition of Pizza Night. Thanks for watching this edition. And you can catch all of the editions of Pizza Night, Frozen Friday, carry out, delivery, and otherwise by checking out the YouTube channel sAs Snacks, and make sure you subscribe while you're there. Also, comment down below, what kind of pizza do you want to see me review and why? Also, down below in the description, you're going to find a link to the sAs group page on Facebook. We are the coolest group in the world with hundreds of the coolest people out there within our group. And the reason why you're not in our group is not apparent to me, so you should probably join our group so that it becomes more apparent to me and I know that you're in our group, okay? So join it. Also, follow me on Twitter at BrandonReichSAS. Always use the hashtag SnackSociety on all the social medias anytime you want to talk about pizza, burgers, chips, cookies, cheese. Cheese! I like cheese. And anything else in the snacking world. Also, Instagram, I have that too, Brandon Reich SAS. There's all kinds of things happening, but what is really happening and what you gotta do is watch our videos and share our videos, because we're trying to make a particular goal by the end of the year, guys, and that is 500,000 views on YouTube by New Year's Day. So also follow the hashtag of 500K by New Year's Day, and do the 4 horsemen of YouTube, which is like, favorite, share, subscribe, son. And in the meantime, in between time, I'm running out of thoughts, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.